Good afternoon. My name is Meric Gertler, and it is my great privilege to serve as president of the University of Toronto. At the outset of today's proceedings, I wish to acknowledge this land on which the university operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. Welcome, everyone, those here with us in Hart House and those joining us online. You will note this afternoon that we will be speaking from 3 different podiums in order to ensure that we comply with all of the appropriate health and safety guidelines. So on behalf of my co-hosts, Dr. Rose Patten, Chancellor of the University, and Professor Trevor Young, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Vice Provost, Relations with Healthcare Institutions, thank you for being part of this very exciting moment in the history of the University of Toronto. I'm very honored to welcome His Excellency Andriy Shevchenko, Ambassador of Ukraine to Canada, and His Worship John Tory, Mayor of the City of Toronto. I'm also pleased to acknowledge Claire Kennedy, Chair of the University's Governing Council, David Palmer, Vice President Advancement, and an individual who has played such a crucial role in bringing us to this day, as well as all those joining us online, including faculty and staff members, students, alumni, partners and benefactors of U of T and the Faculty of Medicine. And of course, I am delighted to extend a special warm welcome to our guests of honor, James and Louise Temerty, founders of the Temerty Foundation, their daughter Leah Temerty Lord, Managing Director of the Temerty Foundation, and her husband Mike Lord. Also Jim's sister Ludmila Temerty, and the friends of the Temerty family who are watching via live streaming. The year 2020 has been an unusual one, to say the least. The world has been focused on meeting the challenges of the moment, and we are no different here at U of T. But today we have an opportunity to look ahead to the longer term, to share news of something very hopeful, something we began planning with our guests of honor long before the pandemic emerged. As you know, the University of Toronto is consistently ranked as Canada's leading university and one of the world's greatest institutions of higher education and advanced research. Just 3 weeks ago, for the second year in a row, Times Higher Education ranked us 18th in the world overall and 8th in the world among public universities. U of T's Faculty of Medicine is a major contributor to our global reputation and impact. It is ranked 4th globally in clinical medicine by US News and World Report and 6th in the world in clinical, preclinical, and health sciences by Times Higher Education. Next year, we will celebrate the 100th anniversary of the discovery of insulin at the University of Toronto. In the century since that epic development, U of T researchers, alongside colleagues at our partner hospitals, have been responsible for several other major breakthroughs in modern medicine, including the world's first pacemaker, the discovery of stem cells, and the identification of the genes that cause cystic fibrosis and early onset Alzheimer's disease. Today, Toronto's biomedical cluster, with U of T Medicine at its heart, is an increasingly vibrant global powerhouse of research and innovation. This tradition of achievement is tied to an equally wonderful record of generosity. It includes the creation of the Sir John and Lady Eaton Professorship in Medicine and a major investment by the Rockefeller Foundation a century ago, as well as landmark gifts from some of the most prominent names in contemporary Canadian philanthropy, such as Terence Donnelly, Michael and Amira Dan, Brian and Joanna Lawson, the FTC Foundation, and the Rogers Family Foundation. Our donors and alumni have played a crucial role in the rise of the Faculty of Medicine and U of T as a whole, as a Canadian and world leader. And now, as we prepare for the 200th anniversary of the University of Toronto in just a few short years, we celebrate a singular act of generosity and vision, a watershed gift that will enable us to reach even greater heights in the century to come. Jim and Louise Temerty have established a remarkable record of leadership in support of healthcare, education, and culture in Toronto and beyond. This includes gifts to several U of T's brilliant partner hospitals. They established the Temerty Centre for Therapeutic Brain Intervention at the Centre for Addiction and Mental Health, the Louise Temerty Breast Cancer Centre at Sunnybrook Health Sciences Centre, and the world's first international telesimulation centre in medical education at the University Health Network. As you know, earlier this year, at the outset of the pandemic, the Temerty Foundation donated $10 million to U of T's Faculty of Medicine to support frontline clinicians, trainees, and COVID-related research across the university and its partner and affiliated institutions. But the Temerty's keen interest in the work of our Faculty of Medicine began well before that. Jim and Louise, along with their daughter, Leah Temerty Lord, noted the faculty's huge impact in training physicians, specialists, and researchers with more than 60,000 living alumni across the Toronto region, the country, and the world. They also noted the faculty's commitment to the wellness of its learners and faculty members. And they noted the faculty's outstanding strengths in areas such as personalized medicine and regenerative medicine, artificial intelligence and machine learning, genomic medicine, and biomedical and biotech innovation. Our guests of honor appreciated U of T's unparalleled network of outstanding research, teaching, and community hospitals and healthcare centers, and our position as the anchor of the Toronto Academic Health Science Network. In addition, Jim and Louise, as well as Leah and Mike, were deeply impressed by the Faculty of Medicine's strategic plan set out in 2018, which focuses on enhancing discovery, collaboration, and equity in education. They wanted to magnify their impact in the advancement of human health and healthcare, and they knew that they had found the ideal partner in the University of Toronto, that together we could make a difference in the lives of individuals and communities everywhere for generations to come. And so today, it is my great privilege and pleasure to share some very happy news with you. Jim and Louise Temerty have made an unprecedented benefaction to advance our vital mission. It is not only the largest gift ever made to U of T's Faculty of Medicine, it is also the largest in the history of the University of Toronto, and it is the single greatest act of philanthropy in the history of our country. With immense pride and profound gratitude, I am absolutely delighted to announce that Jim and Louise Temerty have committed to a transformational gift to the University of Toronto of $250 million. This incredible donation lifts Canadian philanthropy to a new level of vision and impact. It will catalyze discovery across U of T's Faculty of Medicine and its network of partner and affiliated institutions, advancing our leadership as a global center of excellence in human health and healthcare. In particular, the Temerty's gift will further our leadership in artificial intelligence through a new Center for AI Research and Education in Medicine. It will fuel innovation and entrepreneurship to accelerate our impact, and it will support equity, diversity, and inclusion as essential to our definition of excellence. The gift we celebrate today will also create a major physical legacy at the heart of this historic campus. The Temerty's unprecedented donation will support the construction of a state-of-the-art teaching and research building through the redevelopment of the faculty's West Building on the corner of King's College Road and King's College Circle. Now, I have two more announcements to share, two signs of our gratitude to Jim and Louise, though we can never thank them enough for what they have set in motion here today. As a lasting tribute to them, from this moment onward, the University of Toronto Faculty of Medicine, the leading medical faculty in Canada, and one of the greatest anywhere, will be known to the world as the Temerty Faculty of Medicine. In addition, the faculty's new state-of-the-art building will be named the James and Louise Temerty Building. So Jim and Louise, on behalf of everyone who has joined us today, and on behalf of the University of Toronto, let me say how deeply grateful we are for this truly amazing gift. Leah, I also want to thank you for your superbly thoughtful and principled leadership as Managing Director of the Temerty Foundation. We are so encouraged by the faith that you've shown in us and from the spirit of partnership that we've experienced with you throughout the process that brought us here. We are fortunate indeed to have found such wonderful partners in our vision for the Faculty of Medicine, which now and forever will proudly bear your family name. Jim and Louise, the impact of your magnificent gift will be felt for generations to come. It will resonate within the Temerty Faculty of Medicine, the University of Toronto, and the entire healthcare community of the Toronto region, as well as in the lives of countless individuals at home and abroad. Your extraordinary benefaction will set a new standard for philanthropy in Canada, while ushering in an even brighter future of collaboration and discovery across our medical network. No other city in the world, and I think our mayor will be happy to hear this, no other city in the world has our combination of world-class hospitals, technological infrastructure, broad and deep data sets, and diverse population, all working with a single top-ranked medical education partner. So we are in a truly unique position to improve human health and healthcare on a global scale, and because of you, we will be able to achieve our ambitions in record time. So thank you. Thank you for your singular leadership and your generosity. Now, before we hear from other members of our platform party, I'm pleased to present two messages in honor of this historic occasion. The first is from the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, and the second is from the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario.
Hello everyone, bonjour à tous. It's great to be able to say a few words at today's historic announcement here at the University of Toronto. The university's Faculty of Medicine has always been at the forefront of innovation, and as the world continues to deal with the impacts of COVID-19, today's unprecedented gift will go a long way in supporting Canadian healthcare and education. Ce financement profitera aussi directement aux étudiants. Il permettra non seulement de faire progresser la recherche et de fournir une aide financière, mais également d'améliorer l'accès des peuples autochtones et d'autres groupes sous-représentés à l'enseignement médical. And as we look down the path of recovery from the pandemic, investments in our medical institutions and healthcare will be vital to building a safer, healthier, and more resilient Canada. So thank you to the Temerty family for their tremendous leadership and vision. Your generous gift will have a lasting impact on health, not just in our country, but right around the world. And thank you to the University of Toronto for your continued support of Canadian healthcare. Encore une fois, merci à tous. Je vous souhaite une excellente cérémonie. Thank you all.
I'm honored to be part of this exciting announcement. Today, we're celebrating this partnership between University of Toronto's Faculty of Medicine and the Temerty family. Today's $250 million gift will make a huge life-changing impact in Toronto and around the world. It will help the world's top doctors save lives, help researchers discover new cures, and make treatments more effective. It also recognizes the Faculty of Medicine's reputation as world leaders in advancing medicine and public health, delivering world-class education and training the next generation of doctors in transformative research and innovation. I personally want to recognize and thank Jim and Louise Temerty for the gift today but also for their leadership and dedication during these extraordinary times. I also want to recognize Temerty Foundation for their earlier donation of $10 million to help the Faculty of Medicine and its hospital partners respond to COVID-19. You're true champions.
Well, on behalf of the University of Toronto, I'd like to thank Prime Minister Trudeau and Premier Ford for their contributions to this wonderful and auspicious occasion. And now I'm pleased to invite His Worship, John Tory, Mayor of the City of Toronto, to say a few words. Mayor Tory is a proud alumnus of U of T and a great friend to his alma mater. We're always delighted to welcome him back to campus, and we are especially pleased that he has joined us today. Please join me in welcoming Mayor John Tory.
Well, Mr. President and Chancellor, Dean, and of course, most importantly of all, the Temerty family, I'm always proud to be a University of Toronto graduate. It goes with the territory that it may not be the case that the university is always proud of me being a graduate. They probably deny that from time to time. And I don't often attend, as the President knows, these gift announcements. Fortunately, there are lots of them. But there are very few that are transformational, as this one is. And I want to, of course, especially say how honored I am to be in the presence of the Temerty family, Jim and Louise, and Leah and Michael. This is something that is quite extraordinary. And I say, you know, it says in my notes here that the gift is big. Well, big, it doesn't do it justice. It's jumbo, it's gigantic, it's humongous, it's unbelievable. But the other thing, there's two other things about it that I think are very important. One is that it's forward-looking. It's forward-looking. You know, I heard the word hope mentioned. And if you think about medicine, we often think about it in a technical sort of way and say, well, when you're sick, somebody helps to make you better, and indeed they do. But also, I think if you look at medicine, whether it's medicine in a practical sense delivered to each and every one of us, or in the sense of the research work that's going on, it's about hope. It's about hope in fighting things that fight us from time to time, including the pandemic that has us all seated in what appears to be sort of normal, but hopefully won't become normal for all that long. And I just want to say that, so that's the first thing, is that it's something that's forward-looking and hopeful. But the second thing is, and the President knows I always mention this, and I mention it for the U of T, but for other organizations out there as well. These kinds of gifts serve as an example to other people. And, you know, not everybody can give a gift like like this one, but there are people who can. And I would just say to them, you know who you are out there, and you've seen an outstanding example, the most outstanding example ever set in this country so far. And I just hope that people will take their responsibilities of good citizenship as seriously as Jim and Louise and family have done. You know, we do have an obligation to serve our own people well through medical education and medical research here, but also I think we have an obligation as Canadians to help serve the world in the context of trying to make people healthier and take those who are not as fortunate to have institutions like the Faculty of Medicine at the U of T to rely upon. And so that is something that we take very seriously. There is no better time to invest in the healthcare sector, and I'm just so grateful that you have done that in our city and in our country. And I want to say that anybody who has not read the story of this family should read it. It is compelling, but it also gives you plenty of evidence of the fact that Jim and Louise are a team, going all the way back to some of the early business ventures and so on. And I know that the team has now been expanded with the next generation, which I think is fantastic. Moments like this make you extremely proud to be a Canadian and to be a Torontonian. As I travel on behalf of the city, I can tell you the University of Toronto is well known and highly respected by people around the world. It is a big selling feature for our task of trying to bring the best and the brightest here to enrich our population and to enrich our society. So Jim and Louise, thank you for believing in the city, for believing in the country, as I know you both do, but also for believing in the University of Toronto, which is going to be better off because of your generosity. Jim Temerty once talked about the importance of identifying talent in building a business, and he said at that time that he looks for integrity and humility and, above all, character in looking for the kind of talent that he would want to bring to their side in building businesses. I would say that he has, and everybody here, I'm sure all who know him and know Louise, would say that the reason he's been so successful at attracting that talent is because he has those qualities in such abundance in himself, as does Louise. So it's, you know, it's good to identify other people when you have those characteristics yourself. And today, from that generosity and from those character traits, we have all benefited and will benefit for generations to come. And so I say a very simple but very heartfelt word of thanks on behalf of all of the people of the City of Toronto. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Tory. Wonderful words. Next, I'm pleased to invite Professor Trevor Young, Dean of the Temerty Faculty of Medicine and Vice Provost for Relations with Healthcare Institutions, to tell us more about the impact of the Temerty's gift. One of Canada's foremost professors of psychiatry and clinician scientists, Professor Young is the recipient of many national and international awards in recognition of his groundbreaking work on the molecular basis of bipolar disorder and its treatment. As Dean, his work in consulting across the U of T medicine community led to the vision of a stronger, bolder faculty, one that prizes collaboration, innovation, and equity, a vision that our guests of honor have found very inspiring. As Vice Provost, he's responsible for the university's partnership with our 9 fully affiliated hospital partners at over 20 community-affiliated hospitals and healthcare facilities across the region. Trevor's inspiring leadership is one of the key reasons that we are here today to celebrate the dawn of an exciting new era in our shared history. Please join me in welcoming Professor Trevor Young.
Well, thank you, President Gertler, for those kind words of introduction. As mentioned, my name is Trevor Young, and it is my honor and privilege to serve as the inaugural Dean of the Temerty Faculty of Medicine. So first of all, on behalf of our faculty members, over 8,000 clinicians and researchers on campus and at our wonderful partner hospitals, our staff, our over 7,000 students and trainees, as well as the many millions who will benefit from this extraordinary gift, I want to convey our profound thanks to Jim, Louise, Leah, Mike for their historic commitment to healthcare and medicine in Canada. This gift will cement our country's global leadership in health and healthcare through its unprecedented investment in education, research, and high-potential innovation. Earlier, Meric spoke about some of the many contributions U of T Medicine has made to the world already: insulin, the pacemaker, discovery of stem cells, just to name a few. With this remarkable record in mind, it is truly exciting to think of the collaborative discoveries, game-changing innovations, and generations of health leaders this gift will help to support in years to come. So how did we arrive at this momentous occasion? For that, we have to go back a little ways to 2018. We began asking our U of T community what they believed set us apart. After hearing from hundreds of diverse voices across our community, 3 themes emerged. First, our spirit of collaboration, the strength of our partnership with hospitals, and the fact that nearly every one of our signature discoveries came from our teams working together across this network. Second, our commitment to excellence through equity. We're ensuring that our graduates reflect the communities they serve. And finally, our focus on the power of innovation and our willingness to be bold in working together to translate discovery into novel treatments and interventions to improve lives. As these themes, discovery, collaboration, and equity, emerged, we ask ourselves, how do we build on these signature strengths and elevate U of T's Faculty of Medicine to a new level? What might the outcome be for the health and well-being of Canadians and many more people around the world? Exploring the answers to these questions inspired us to think big, and I think it's now clear they inspired the Temerty family as well. Because of the gift they've made today isn't just historic in size, it's also historic in its impact. It will extend to every single aspect of our programs, transforming education, research, and clinical care for decades to come. As Meric mentioned, with the gift, we'll establish a new Centre for Artificial Intelligence Research and Education in Medicine. The centre will capitalize on U of T's world-leading strengths in artificial intelligence, machine and deep learning, which are revolutionizing diagnostics, drug discovery, surgery, and patient care. We will fund collaborations across U of T's network of world-renowned teaching hospitals and research institutes to make lasting positive impact on research areas from neurodegenerative disease to cancer to suicide prevention. We will accelerate biomedical advances by supporting new and expanded innovation and entrepreneurship activities, as well as grants for fundamental, translational, and clinical research throughout the faculty and our partner hospitals. We will vastly increase admission bursaries for medical students with the highest financial need, while also championing the well-being of our learners. We'll establish an endowed elder in residence position, as well as a new elder circle to help ensure Indigenous health education is embedded in our faculty and is supported in perpetuity. And we will also have the unprecedented flexibility, thanks to unrestricted funds, that will allow us to seize the moment and make strategic investments in star researchers, necessary equipment, and initiatives as opportunities arrive. This truly is transformational. In short, this gift will help our diverse and talented learners, researchers, and clinicians working on campus and across our partner hospitals pursue the bold and pioneering innovations and discovery that have already defined our faculty. This gift will also build on our international standing as a global powerhouse in human health, healthcare, and medical excellence, a place recognized and embraced by a global community of graduates, partners, and collaborators, including here at home, our hospital partners. It is for these reasons that we, as a community, are honored to take the Temerty name in perpetuity, and we are grateful for the family's decision to further their long-standing impact across Toronto's health science and healthcare network with this latest record-setting commitment. So once again, thank you, Jim, Louise, Leah, Mike, for your vision, your generosity, your personal dedication to healthcare, and for your deep understanding and trust in our potential to continue to advance human health and healthcare for people around the world. I can't wait to see what awaits us in the future in the new Temerty Faculty of Medicine. Thank you so much. And speaking of the future, I'm now pleased to introduce Hira Raheel. Hira is a third-year medical student in our MD program. She's currently on her anesthesia rotation at Sunnybrook Hospital, and she's loving it, she told me in the green room while we waited. She's a graduate of the University of Ontario Institute of Technology in Oshawa, where she received a scholarship and did her undergraduate degree in life sciences. She then completed a Master's of Science at our Faculty of Medicine's Institute of Medical Sciences, doing her research at St. Michael's Hospital, now part of Unity Health Toronto. She's involved in many activities on campus, including volunteering with the Muslim Medical Association of Canada to provide mentorship and help younger students navigate the medical school application process. Please join me in welcoming Hira to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Young, for the introduction. I never thought I would be standing here at this podium. Oh, sorry, let me take my mask off. Sorry about that. I'm so used to keeping it on all the time. So I never thought I'd be standing at this podium in front of all of you telling you my story. But if there's anything I've learned so far in my life, it's that anything is possible when others believe in you and your future. And that's what brings me here today. My name is Hira Raheel. As Dean Young mentioned, I'm a third-year medical student. You can't call me a doctor yet, but in 2 years' time, you'll be able to. I am the first member of my family to complete post-secondary studies in Canada. I'm also a proud graduate of the University of Toronto with a Master's of Science degree. And most importantly, I am the older sister to an amazing 21-year-old with Rett syndrome, a rare neurological disorder. My sister is nonverbal, but I know she's proud of me every single day and is with me on my journey to becoming a physician. In fact, it is because of her, my family, and the mentors at the U of T community that I'm able to pursue my journey of becoming a doctor. Growing up with a sister with special needs, I saw many doctors. I saw the difference a good doctor can make in the life of a child and their family. My family's experience is why I believe that in order to provide great health care, you just don't need clinical excellence. You need to combine it with compassion and culturally sensitive care. I know that's what the future of medicine in Canada needs. When I first moved to Canada as a 7-year-old, I didn't know what challenges would await me. It meant moving from a country where I looked like everyone else to a part of the world where I looked very different. I sounded different. I had a different skin color. I dressed slightly differently. I brought weird food to lunch every day. But like all kids, all I wanted to do was to fit in. And in order to fit in, I used the only thing I had as a 7-year-old, was to show that I'm fun, I'm extroverted, and I'm not that very different. I bridged the differences throughout my life by volunteering for various extracurricular activities that would help me forge social connections. And my struggles as a kid weren't just on the social front. There was also unexpected challenges at home. Soon after my family moved here, my sister began having seizures. My parents were scared, as the parents of any sick child would be. As an older sister, I felt helpless. While other kids would be outside during recess, I would go visit my little sister in her special needs education classroom and make sure she was doing okay. And often I would miss school and social events to instead go with my parents and her to her doctor's appointments and be there as a support system, sometimes as a translator. And today, as a medical student, every time I walk into sick kids, I see the yellow elevators, and they remind me of the countless appointments I went to with my sister. To this day, no cure exists for her rare genetic disorder. But with the dedicated care of my parents and the amazing medical doctors and experts and healthcare providers who saw her, my sister is now seizure-free. And despite her other health complications, she's able to live at home, be happy like any other child, any other adolescent. And despite all of the challenges and struggles my parents had as new immigrants, as parents of a sick child, they always prioritized the importance of academic excellence to me and my younger brother. We were also taught the importance of work ethic and financial security, which is why from the age of 16, I've worked a variety of part-time jobs throughout undergrad and my graduate studies. I've worked in fast food restaurants, I've worked in call centers, I've worked retail, and this past summer, with a lot of the COVID initiatives, I worked in a gelato shop. Each job, whether paid or voluntary, has taught me something different. Some experiences, to be honest, weren't the greatest, weren't what I expected. I remember volunteering at a hospital in Oshawa as an undergraduate student. Not having any relatives or family members who were physicians in Canada, I had no clue how to get into medical school. I just wanted to learn a little bit more about healthcare and find physician mentors along the way. I didn't have anyone who could help me navigate the very complicated system to get into a Canadian medical school. The courses you must take, the extracurricular activities you must participate in, the research initiatives you must partake in, or even the financial costs associated with being in school. But it was only after I joined the University of Toronto as a master's student that I received mentorship and guidance on the medical school application process. Today, I am in medical school, which is why I'm in front of you today. But let me tell you a secret. That's all too common amongst medical students. I was rejected the first time I applied, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I wasn't sure I would reapply. However, through my research project, I was lucky enough to find a wonderful mentor who's a leader at the University of Toronto Faculty of Medicine, who personally encouraged me to reapply. She told me that medicine needed more people like me, more people from diverse backgrounds, more people who brought diverse perspectives to medicine. Even though I didn't think I'd make it into the MD program, she believed in me. So I only had 2 weeks left before the application closed, and I reapplied. And this time I made it in. I can still remember the very moment opening the email from U of T after a 14-hour flight from Pakistan to Toronto and finding out I was accepted. In that moment, my world shifted. My family's world shifted. My community's world shifted, and the world shifted too, hopefully for my future patients. I know medicine is my calling. Like many of my peers, I know it is what I'm meant to do. I now want to pay it forward by mentoring pre-medical students who may not have access to the same mentorship and guidance in pursuing a career in medicine. I know that for prospective students where English is not their first language, writing applications and interviewing poses as an additional hurdle. Through mentoring, I want to instill confidence that they can overcome these challenges with practice and support from others. I believe in them. You believe in them too. Part of being here today is to thank you, because leaders like you are recognizing the importance of improving equity and diversity in medicine. It is why I'm able to live out my dream. Your gift will lessen the financial stressors for students from diverse backgrounds, which will mean they can focus more intensely on their education. It is also to thank you on behalf of future patients who will receive more culturally appropriate care, because we all benefit as a society when healthcare and research more accurately reflects our diverse population. And it's bigger than that. It is also to thank you for your investment in medical research that will potentially benefit people like my sister. I want you to know that I'm working hard to enhance the legacy of the Temerty School Faculty of Medicine, and I will be a proud graduate moving forward. With leadership, hard work, and compassion, great things can happen, and I'm living proof of it. Thank you very much for having me here today and listening to me.
Well, thank you, Hira. As Dean Young said, if you ever had any doubts about the state of the future of medicine, and I dare say the future of this country, they have all been addressed with those wonderful remarks. It is now my profound honor to introduce Jim Temerty, who alongside his wife Louise has made this extraordinary day possible. Jim will speak to us and then introduce Louise and Leah and Mike, who will speak to us in turn. In 1987, Jim Temerty founded Northland Power as one of Canada's first and still preeminent developers, financiers, constructors, owners, and operators of independent power facilities. Starting with the first large-scale biomass generation project in Canada, Northland Power is dedicated to developing clean and green sources of power and is considered the leading Canadian company in the renewable energy sector. It is now also a world-class leader in the burgeoning international offshore wind industry. The company has to date entered into partnerships with 10 Indigenous communities who have thereby obtained equity ownership in Northland's projects in their traditional territories. Jim and Louise are both recipients of the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal for service to their community. In addition to their leadership in health and healthcare, Jim and Louise are also donors to the Royal Ontario Museum, the Royal Conservatory of Music, the Canadian Museum for Human Rights, and Help Us Help the Children. In 2008, Jim, with Louise's encouragement, founded the Ukrainian Jewish Encounter, a multinational project that aims to build a sound foundation for future interaction between Ukrainians and Jews. In that same year, Jim was appointed a member of the Order of Canada. In 2010, he was named Canada's Entrepreneur of the Year by Ernst & Young. And in 2015, he was honored with Ukraine's Order of Prince Yaroslav the Wise. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming our guests of honor, Jim and Louise Temerty, Leah Temerty Lord, and Mike Lord. That podium right there is yours.
Your second.
Thank you to President Gertler, Dean Young, Chancellor Patten, from whom we will hear later. And thank you, Ambassador Shevchenko, for being here. And also thank you to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Premier Doug Ford, and Mayor Tory, who is always such a fine example of informal oration. Our family is deeply honored and very excited about the possibilities that lie ahead. It's taken a long time to get to this day, and I want to say a special thank you to a friend who is the VP of Advancement for the University of Toronto, David Palmer. David identified this opportunity and brought it to us and did yeoman's work in making sure that we would get to this day. And I'm especially pleased that over the course of that probably 15 months, he had to work with my daughter Leah, who when she started out was a, let's say, fledgling managing director of a significant foundation. And I knew she across the table from her would be the dean today of advancement activities in universities, and she would learn quite a bit. And Louise and I feel that Leah today is a bigger person than she was 15 months ago, so thank you for that, David. A couple of years ago, our family opened a family office, and the four of us decided to write a constitution. So that constitution embedded a number of values and principles to guide our actions today and tomorrow, and hopefully for generations to come. Among those were things like generosity, leadership, pursuit of excellence, and intellectual curiosity. As I reflect on this gift, it gives me pleasure to know that what we are doing today resonates so well with our values. What is equally important and compelling is how closely those values align with those reflected in the strategic priorities this gift will enable and support. Speaking of intellectual curiosity, Louise and I could use a little, mental stimulation at this stage in our lives. Anything to keep the big D at bay and have the brain plasticity do its work would be welcome. Mind you, more for me than Louise. She's so sharp, but I have to keep up with her. Of course, intellectual curiosity is at the very heart of education and lifelong learning. For us, personally, engaging in this process with the faculty and learning about its research and medical advancements has sparked our sense of excitement and discovery. As far as leadership goes, we mean it in the sense of being first, leading the way, setting a new standard. I attribute my business success in large part to my drive to innovate, to lead the way, to be the first, to do things differently, and to never be satisfied with the status quo. Dean Gertler mentioned Northland. So taking Northland as an example, we declared ourselves a green and clean company and proceeded that way starting 33 years ago, long before it was a fashionable thing. And that leads me to the main motivation behind making this gift. The Faculty of Medicine has uniquely distinguished itself with its history of firsts, from insulin, as Dr. Meric has said, to pacemakers and stem cells and many other things. And it's a history that my family and I are honored to align with, and an institution I'm truly excited and energized to be supporting. Our hope and goal by committing this gift is to ensure that the Temerty Faculty of Medicine will continue to take that leadership position and register more of those firsts. We have every confidence this is the direction in which we are headed. The team we have gotten to know has shown they are of the highest caliber, not only in their professions, but in their character. I'm excited for what's to come.
Good afternoon. Nice to see you all here today despite the COVID restrictions. We couldn't be more proud to support the Temerty Faculty of Medicine and students like Hira Raheel. Thank you, Hira, for being with us this afternoon and for your dedication to healthcare. Sur une note personnelle, j'ai vu de très près l'impact des investissements dans les secteurs santé et innovation. Ces recherches et découvertes scientifiques auront des résultats qui changeront la vie des patients et de leurs familles au Canada et à travers le monde. On a personal note, I have seen firsthand the impact of investing in health research and innovation. The research and discoveries will have a direct and life-changing result for patients and families in Canada and around the world. And now my daughter Leah, Managing Director of the Foundation, and son-in-law Mike Lord, the president of our family office, are going to say a few words. It is these two who have done all the heavy lifting in order to make this a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. And thank you, everyone, for being here with us, whether in person or virtually. It's unfortunate that we can't all be together, but it's important to follow the COVID protocols and to ensure everyone's safety. My dad spoke about the values that underpin our foundation's approach. Ambitious plans can only be realized through excellent leadership and teamwork. This day still feels a bit surreal to me, as I've been working on this now for a year and a half. And working on it with Trevor and his team has allowed me to really get to know them. Trevor's style of leadership, rooted in compassion, respect, and collaboration, are the essential ingredients for the faculty's success and its ability to deliver on a new era for medical research and learning. His commitment towards wellness, equity, and diversity will lead to a new generation of talent. We have all faced challenges over the past 6 months, and we have seen how the world can change on just a moment's notice. We've learned important lessons over the course of the pandemic, but to me, the importance of coming together to solve the big problems is what really stands out. As Meric said earlier, this is the ideal time to invest in medicine, and there is no better institution than the University of Toronto to trust with our donation. Mayor Tory said it best when he spoke about this. We hope that this gift, along with all the other unprecedented gifts that came before it, will prompt others to give, elevating philanthropy in Canada. Before I pass it over to Mike, I would also like to say that working through this over the year and a half with David, Tad, Arthur, Trevor, Dorina, and Jillian has been an absolute honor and a pleasure. And I'm very excited and looking forward to many more years in this partnership. Thank you.
Thanks, Leah, and good afternoon, everybody. I have just one observation I'd like to share, and I will do my best to keep my remarks brief. As our work with the U of T team evolved over the past 15 months, year and a half, and as a framework for success started to come together between the two parties, you've heard already how we were struck by the alignment on values, and you've heard that very eloquently from several folks. But we were also struck by how closely the strategic priorities in the GIFT program aligned with some of the things that we believe are some of the most important trends driving change in the world today. So we're excited that this GIFT is about moving forward on some of those critical areas of impact, advancing research in artificial intelligence, an area where U of T, the faculty, and the city in general already has a global leadership position. The emphasis that's going to be placed on collaborating across medical research and discoveries, innovation and commercialization of those most important and promising breakthroughs that come from that research, and of course then raising the bar with the emphasis being placed on equity, diversity, and inclusion. So it was the alignment that we've spoken about, but it was also then the conviction with which the U of T team presented and then stuck with those priorities throughout this process that really gave our family the conviction ourselves and the confidence and comfort to move forward on what's going to be a very long-term and very meaningful and deep partnership. I'm personally very honored to be involved with this. I'm proud of our whole family, and I'm proud of the partnership and interaction that these groups have had together over this past year and a half, and look forward for what's to come. Thank you very much, and I'll pass it back to Jim.
Thank you, familia. Well done. We have some members of the Northland Power Board here, and it brought to mind that one person whom we were truly hoping to see here is not with us. And our dear friend, Right Honourable John Turner, passed away, as you know, a few days ago. He was a board member of Northland Power from its very inception as a public company, and before that served in an advisory capacity to the private company. He was a dear friend, a loyal friend, and chair of our governance and nominating committee and lead independent director, and made sure that he kept us on the straight and narrow. All of us will be missed, and I know you don't mind my mentioning this and joining me in expressing our condolences to the family of the Right Honourable John Turner. Let me conclude by saying that while this is a celebration of a gift to the university, it also marks the beginning of a new journey and partnership. On behalf of our entire family, including the family that's in Mexico enjoying better weather and even better COVID conditions because they're in Tuscany, and Tuscany has not been touched by COVID. So on behalf of all of us, we thank you for welcoming us into this community and for your passion, a passion that we know will deliver results for healthcare in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Jim, Louise, Leah, Mike, for your wonderful words. Hard act to follow. And thank you once again to Jim and Louise for your magnificent gift to the University of Toronto. Now it is my privilege to invite our Chancellor to bring this gathering to a close. Dr. Rose Patten is the 34th Chancellor of the University of Toronto. She's a longtime senior executive of BMO Financial Group, where she currently serves as special advisor to the CEO and senior executives. She's a distinguished former chair of this university's governing council, and she is also executive in residence and adjunct professor in executive leadership programs at the Rotman School of Management and a member of Massey College. Dr. Patten has built an extensive record of leadership in other major institutions and organizations, including her years as chair of the Board of Trustees of the Hospital for Sick Children. In 2009, the University of Toronto awarded her an honorary Doctor of Laws, and in 2017, Dr. Patten was appointed an officer of the Order of Canada. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Rose Patten.
So thank you, Meric. That's a very kind introduction. And thank you as well, Jim and Louise, and Mike and Leah, for your inspiring words. It was wonderful to hear from all of you. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, all of you here today and all of you online. It is such a joy and a pleasure to be here at this celebration. The day will live on. It will live on as a source of strength and inspiration for the Temerty Faculty of Medicine, the University of Toronto, and the Partnership Hospitals. It will also reverberate in our society and in the lives of so many, many people. It will be felt by individuals and communities across Canada, around the globe, and throughout generations to come. People who will receive expert care from a doctor who received a world-class medical education at the University of Toronto, or life-transforming help from a U of T developed technology, or a new chance at life and health because of medical breakthroughs made possible by the collaborative research at U of T and our partner hospitals. We can truly envision now all of those things today as we celebrate Jim and Louise Temerty's generosity and the impact it will have all throughout this great university. Moreover, Jim and Louise's gift is a source of profound hope at this time when the world so desperately needs it. This is the ultimate power and promise of philanthropy, a reason to believe we can build a better future, and that together we can achieve things that once we could only imagine. Today really is a watershed, not only in the history of Canadian philanthropy, it opens a new vista of excellence in Toronto and Canada's global leadership in human health and health care. And so, on behalf of everyone here, on behalf of the entire University of Toronto, I would like to close today by thanking our guests of honor, thanking you once again for setting such a brilliant example and for giving us that most important and transformational of all gifts, the gift of hope. And thank you all, everyone, for taking part in this historic announcement. Our webcast and our gathering are now concluded, but because of the current public health situation, I'm sure you will understand how regretful we all are that we cannot enjoy the mingling that normally we would do at time of this kind of an occasion. So, I have a couple of thoughts here that I must do. One is to ask the platform party to remain here while others who have joined us in person depart. And we would ask everyone else to look to the staff members who guide all of you, who will guide you momentarily. They will invite you section by section and then exit to ensure we have the social distancing that we need. And of course, we're all wanting and asking that we wear our masks. And thank you for this. And now I want to be the one to give the very last, but another round of applause for our wonderful guests of honor. Thank you.